brainstorm. And another thing I would like to do if elected, I would like to have each council member uh, um, bring 2 people as advisors from the community. Just not somebody that's been used to being on boards. Bring somebody in new. Bring a young person and an older person. Make it where we can have advisors, where we can have meetings. And I just would like to promote the city, but we have to do it together. We have to sit down, like I said, and brainstorm about what we want to do to make this city move forward. And I believe that we can do it. I really do. A lot of, I was telling some people recently that the city has been going to the League of Cities recently, the last year. But they don't go there as I went there. When I went to the League of Cities, I attended all meetings. And I came back with information for the city. The first COP grant that the city of Bolivar ever had, I brought it back from the League of Cities. And also at the League of Cities, when I met Henry Cisneros, who was the housing director under President Clinton, I told him about Bolivar and the lack of adequate housing that we had. And I actually stopped him, and he was walking with his bodyguards. And I said, Mr. Cisneros, I'm Brenda Woods from Hardeman County. I don't even have a purse. I'm a defenseless woman, and I want to talk to you. It was just that simple. He told his bodyguards, you heard the lady, now let her talk to me. And that's what I told him about some of the housing problems that we had here. In 1986, I wrote a grant, and we became a housing initiative program under Bill Clinton, where we received a grant for more than $50 million that the city and county had to sign off on and pledge that we would build moderate income housing. But for some reason, they didn't sign on. I don't know why. At that time, I was not on the council. I couldn't really push the issue. But I want to get back in a position where I can go back. I have all of my information. I want to redo that grant. As far as I know, we may still be a part of that championship community that we were elected to be in 1996. But I never really followed up on it because I couldn't get the cooperation. And so those are some of the things that I would like to do, because I can write grants. You know, I can write grants, and I do write grants. So those are some of the other things that I would like to see. We got to have some type of recreation facilities for our young people. We have to get something for them to do. There's nothing, absolutely nothing, for our young people to do in the city. And so, yes, they get bored, they get in trouble, and you see them in the court systems because they have to use this energy. And it is up to us as citizens of this county to do something to save our children. We're losing them.
So do you believe that the Parks and Recreation is the weakest department because of lack of opportunities?
No, I don't think that. I just think they don't utilize what they have. You can take a little and make a lot. I don't think that it is, I wouldn't categorize it as being the weakest. I would categorize it as not being utilized to its fullest extent. No, not at all. But like I said, we have a lot of good employees, but we have to do things different. That's basically how I feel about it.
One of the main components of your platform has been jobs for Bolivar. How would you go about bringing the jobs and the industry to Bolivar? And what do you believe is one of Bolivar's largest attractions for industry?
Well, first of all, I think is, as I stated earlier, the lack of promotion restricts business opportunities. We're going to have to promote Bolivar. Bolivar has to be promoted. Once you promote Bolivar, then industry will seriously look at our city. But you just can't sit here. You got to go out. You got to sell the city. You have to attend trade shows. You have to go wherever they're talking about putting industries in an area and say, hey, look, I mean, this is what we can offer you. Whatever it takes, I intend to make sure that is a priority of mine to get some jobs here. For the first time, I want to show people it can be done, and I know how to do it. I am the leader to do it. I definitely know how to do it.
So what do you believe that Bolivar has to offer industry?
Bolivar has a lot to offer. We have industrial parks that are not being utilized. We have the workforce. They may need to be trained to be a little bit more skilled, but that can happen. Anytime, we also have to think about transportation, because you have to have a way to move industry in and out. They have to have a way of getting in and out. And I that's why I said working with the county. I looked at the city of Grand Junction, and they still have railways. That is so important in getting and moving supplies and demands is through your railway system. So we have to look back and think about our transportation system. That's why I said I would love to get people together and let's talk about how did we get Harmon Automotive? How did we get the garment factory? How did we lose them? How do we get them back? And, I think critical thinking is one of the most positive entities one can possess. A lot of our people just don't think. We have to learn to rethink. And I would even just like to see them do classes on critical thinking, because I feel like if you got it, in my mind and in my insight, I believe there's no such word as can't. And I don't use the word can't, because we can. And we need a skilled promoter and a salesperson. And I believe that I have all of those qualities, and someone to be a voice for that stage. And I believe and know that I am.
So if you're elected mayor, what can the Bolivar citizens expect from you in your first month? What would your first month look like?
My first month will look busy, very busy, because I want to take off running. I'm very energetic. I want to let the citizens know that I would have an open door policy. If there was something that citizens needed, even if I had to stay late, I would be there. The doors will be open. I'm going to be open to listen. I'm not going to say there's not one person that can say that they needed to me to talk with them, and they would just see more. I'd be more visible for the citizens, more approachable. I'll sort of reach out and touch. I'm right here. What do you need? What do you think we need to do about this? How do we do it? Because I'm going to be asking for some input. You want this done, how do we do it? Because I can't do it alone. I need the help of the taxpayers. And that's why I said that from the beginning, I think it's time to give the city back to the taxpayers. You have a voice. You're paying taxes here. Everybody deserves to have their voices heard.
So, this is your third time running, and what do you think is different this time? And second time running against Stevens, what do you think is going to be different this time?
Well, it's not that I think anything is different. I'm not a quitter. A quitter never wins, and a winner never quits. It also took me 3 times to go to the Democratic Convention as a delegate. I never quit. So many people ask me, well, why don't you quit? Because it's not who I am. And so I think I'm more mature, probably than I was then. And, but other than that, I just believe that if you want something, you have to go for it. You never can quit.
So last question. Putting you side by side with Mayor Stevens, why do you think that you would make a better mayor than he would? Just in a summary.
In summary, because as I said before, I feel that it comes a time when new ideals have to be put in place, new leadership, new people. You have to be ready, willing, and able to accept change. And it's not about me personally. It's about the future of our children in this city. So putting us side by side, I am not one to say to be a dictator. I want to be more of a listener, and I want to be more of a doer. And like I said, I'm more skilled in sitting at the table and bargaining with people. I have those skills. So I think that just a new face, a new direction, new ideas with brand new skills will turn this city around. We can turn the city around. We can beautify the city. We can beautify East Side. We can bring people to a level of thinking that, hey, this is my city. I want to take pride in it. But you have to let people know that everybody is important. Everybody. And everybody should be treated fair and equal, irregardless to what social, economical status that we may think that we hold or achieve. In God's eyesight, we're all the same. We're all the same. And everybody should be treated the same. And I want to be fair to every citizen in this county. Irregardless to race, creed, or color. It makes me no different. You will be treated equally and fair.
Well, we'll definitely add it here to the second round, and I think as long as we got the address on time, that should be as legal as they need.
Is there anything else we haven't covered you want to say?
Okay.
I don't think so. I've enjoyed my interview with you.
I have too. I appreciate your time.